Prosecuted with what? Savannah and I leave for LA in like 3 days, and honestly I could not be more excited. I've been wanting to go back, but we've just been so busy we haven't been able to, and now I'm really excited about this trip. And honestly, I mean, we're going to see family and stuff, but we're also doing a couple of other things that I'm pretty excited about. I've mentioned before that Savannah and I are thinking about moving back to LA, and this trip we're actually going to look at apartments. That's going to be the first step that we're actually taking in the process of actually moving. I'm very excited about that. We have like 5 places we're looking at. Also, while I'm talking to you, there's this creepy, I'm in this like church parking lot, and there's this creepy looking van. Don't know why they're sitting there. It's a little weird, considering this is also a school. I'm sure it's fine. So I left the house hastily. I left the house without checking this the electric skateboard, and turns out I have like 30%. I may run out of juice before I get home. I got home. I was gonna do some stuff outside, but the weather is, it's not really cooperating. So because of that, I'm just gonna play some video games just for a little bit. In light of us getting ready we're going to California to look at apartments. There's also something else that I've been thinking about doing, but I've kind of bounced back and forth on if I should do it or not. And I think I've finally reached a conclusion. In this closet, this entire upper shelf here is filled with drum sets. You may or may not know, one single human being can only play one drum set at a time, and most of the time I'm playing this kit. So meaning all of these kits up here just sit there and haven't been touched for months. And because of that, I feel like they're just wasting away. And especially if we end up moving to California, there's gonna be a couple of things that we'll have to adjust. And one of those, the amount of possessions that we have to consolidate them. I can't justify having 4 drum sets. So what I think I'm going to do, I don't know when I'm gonna do this, but it's gonna be at some point from now till, if we end up moving, sell 2 of those drum sets. I'm gonna keep 2 and sell 2 of those drum sets so that I don't have to store 4 kits. Of those kits, I'm gonna keep this Renown kit, and I'm gonna keep my vintage Ludwig kit. Mostly because the vintage kit has sentimental value, and I love the way this kit sounds. And the other ones are great, but if I had to choose, I'm keeping those 2. But because of that, now I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with those other kits. That's really foggy. I'm a pretty sentimental person, and because of that, I seldomly sell any gear. With camera gear, it's a little bit different. Although I will say this camera setup, I've grown pretty attached to it, not just because it's good, but just because I've been able to do a lot with it. The sentimentality is growing with this camera gear. But with my drum gear, I've honestly, I rarely ever sell it, mostly because I'm so sentimental. I get really attached to my to my gear. And on top of that, whenever I purchase something, I try to make sure that it fits multiple facets, just so that I can get my money's worth when I purchase something. When I bought my Black Beauty, I knew that I was going to use it for multiple different things, not just one specific thing. And typically the things that do one thing really, really well, unless I really need it and I use it all the time, I typically kind of stray away from that to get something that's a little more broad and has a little bit more, and I get something that's a little more practical for multiple use cases. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really use some of the kits in my room. One of the kits I want to sell, it's an 18-inch kit. Like, it's a super small kit, super amazing, but has a very, very unique specific use case. And then the other kit I bought it for a specific group that I no longer play with, and I can't really find a use for it in any other things that I'm doing. So all that to be said, that doesn't mean that you should or shouldn't buy things that are super niche. I just know for myself, whenever I purchase something, I buy it for like multiple use cases, and because of that, I find myself not buying and reselling items very frequently. And I think the funny part is guitar players are like the exact opposite. Like, they'll change pedals out like every other day. And somebody once told me that drummers are like me, where we don't really buy anything very often. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or if there's truth to that. I want to go do something, but as you can probably tell, it's storming and raining pretty bad. The lightning just stopped, but because of that, there's not much I can do. Tomorrow we have like 4 shoots in 4 different locations in like 5 hours, so that should be fun.